6 beautiful woods paired together to make 3 completely different designs for a candle holder. So which of these is best? Well, let's find out. We'll begin by combining purple heart and Spanish cedar, which apparently is neither Spanish nor a cedar. Who knew? However, what it lacks in botanical accuracy, it more than makes up for in machinability. And my CNC made light work of cutting out these circular inserts and arched side panels. The purple heart forms the top surface of this candle holder, and I designed it with 2 waterfall sides which wrap the grain around a 90-degree corner. It's the kind of thing you'd see on a fancy dining table. By cutting to the perfect depth with a V-bit, I made a precise folding right angle, which you'll see revealed a little later in the video. But as a spoiler, I am quite pleased with how it turned out. With the glue in place and everything firmly clamped, I was ready to move on to the next design. The next pairing is walnut and figured maple, which is just like normal maple but with a particularly attractive grain pattern. Like before, I attached each length of wood to my CNC using tape and glue and then cut out the various components. I had a fun time removing these parts as they popped off the bed one by one in such a satisfying way. Now this design is intentionally very simple with maybe a hint of Japanese style about it. It uses dowels to create 2 matching layers with one floating above the other. These dowels need to be the perfect fit, so I took my time filing the holes to size. I was also joined for much of the build by my apprentice who catalogued everything we made with diligence and enthusiasm.
I got it in a pile. Those.
Moving on to the glue up, you'll see there's a little lip that joins the walnut and the maple together. I dabbed on some PVA glue and set it aside to dry as I moved on to the final design. Our final pairing is coconut and an exotic African hardwood called Wenge. Now, the guy I bought the Wenge off said it actually has the same export restrictions as like lions and tigers and elephants and things. Now, I'm assuming that's kind of common knowledge in his line of work and not because he had a couple of predatory cats hanging out the back, but I wasn't keen to find out. So I bought the wood and got out of there. Now, this design is quite different from the others and uses alternating rectangles of Wenge and coconut stacked together to form the body. I originally intended to slide each rectangle onto these steel rods you see, but when drilling the holes to their final size, the wood started to split and crack all over the place. Having used up most of my patience and all of my clamps, I decided to take a pause and move on to the purple heart design, which was now ready after the glue up. The waterfall edge worked out perfectly, if I do say so myself, and the cedar inserts went in with a satisfying pop. At this point, all the wood was ready for a finish, so I slipped on some gloves, measured out the oil, and lovingly sponged each piece. The oil turned the Wenge very dark and hid much of the grain, which I was slightly underwhelmed by, having paid so much for it, but it worked wonders on the coconut, imbuing it with a lovely golden glow. I stacked everything up to dry overnight, and when I returned, the purple heart design was complete, so I cracked out the candles to see how it looked. With one design complete, it was time for another, so I pushed the dowels into my pieces of walnut and encouraged the layers together. I dropped the candles in place and stood back to inspect the final result. I was feeling pretty good, but the most challenging part was yet to come. After abandoning those steel rods, I chose to use aluminium spacers, which I fixed into place using a glue gun and a 3D printed guide for accurate placement. Now let's be clear, I'm not massively happy about just glue gunning everything. It feels rather inelegant, but you can be the judge of the final result in a moment. This is a very stringy project. Look at that. Ugh, it's like living inside a spider's web. It gets absolutely everywhere. On your fingers, on your clothes. All part of the fun though, and I am nearly done. So yeah, we're getting there. We're definitely getting there. Towards the end, I switched over to using super glue to attach the last few layers. I needed some kind of weight to compress together all of those layers. And as the saying goes, if it's stupid and it works, then it's not stupid, right? I mean, it might be a little bit stupid, but we're going to go with it anyway. Despite my concerns, the final result turned out rather well, and those alternating layers looked even better than I had imagined. Now, I started the video by asking which is best. If you could only take one of these into your home, well, which would you choose? Please do take a moment to leave a comment and tell me what you think. Now, I won't bias you with my personal opinion, but my apprentice did have something to say on the matter. Yeah, which one's your favourite? Which one do you like?
This one.
You like that one?
Yes.
Is that because it's closest?
Yes.
And that's us all done. So I'd just like to say thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye. Smoky goodbye.